Look at this guy. No, we need to go back further than that. Look at this dude, Yoda. Yoda trained Count Dooku, which turned out not to be a good idea because he turned to the dark side. Count Dooku trained Qui-Gon, and we all know he ain't worth shit. I base that fact on this.
But Master Yoda said I should be mindful of the future.
But not at the expense of the moment.
Who the fuck is you to contradict Yoda? Nobody, that's who. That little green dude is 900 plus years old, and when a person who is nearly a millennia tells you something, you listen. Especially when it's motherfucking Yoda. Anyway, Qui-Gon trained Obi-Wan. No, not that one. This one. Stay with me, alright? Okay, so Qui-Gon trains Obi-Wan. At some point, they find young Anakin. They find out that he has a shitload of midichlorians, blah, 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 the chosen one. They take Anakin before the Jedi Council to be trained. Yoda was like, no. Samuel Jackson was like, hell no. And what does Qui-Gon decide to do? To have Obi-Wan train Anakin anyway. Big mistake. Good job, dumbass. Alderaan will thank you later. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan gets into a fight with Darth Maul. Lightsabers and shit, high jumps, and getting repeatedly kicked in the face. Due to circumstance, the two get split up and Darth Maul manages to kill Qui-Gon's dumbass with the most ridiculous move in the history of ridiculous moves. Right in front of Obi-Wan. I think this is when he began his voyage into the dark side. So there he is, stuck behind a force field, Darth Maul trolling the shit out of him. And once the fields began to fall, Obi-Wan was like, oh, it's on now, motherfucker. Came out of there like a damn cheetah on the gazelle and cut the punk in half and straight up let him fall into the pit of death, Leonidas style. Now he killed Darth Maul out of anger and revenge. He sure as hell wasn't calm when he did it. And like what Yoda said,
fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
So fast forward to Attack of the Clones. The only takeaway from this horrible movie is the fact that Obi-Wan acting like he is jealous of Anakin. Every time Anakin would do some smooth shit, Obi-Wan would be quick to throw shade on his game.
I can sense everything going on in that room. Trust me.
It's too risky. Besides, your senses aren't that attuned to my young apprentice.
What took you so long?
Oh, you know, Master. I couldn't find a speeder that I really liked.
There he is.
I thought I already did.
Only in your mind, my fellow young apprentice. Well, you've lost him.
I'm deeply sorry, Master.
That was some shortcut, Anakin. He went completely the other way. Once again, you've proved...
If you'll excuse me...
I hate it when he does that.
Then we decided to come and rescue you. Good job.
It is his jealousy of Anakin that caused the breach between them, and Palpatine was able to slide right in and fuck Anakin's head right up. Fast forward, Obi-Wan Kenobi kills Anakin. Or so we thought anyway. So at this point in Obi-Wan's life, he has witnessed the murder of his master, and now he is forced to kill his own Padawan, who was like a brother to him.
You were my brother, Anakin!
Thus plummeting Obi even further into the dark side. So for 15 years or so, you have to consider all of what was going on in his mind. Because he decided to be stupid and not listen to Yoda, he would have to come to grips with the massive consequences that followed. Him having to cope with all the people Anakin killed during his descent into darkness. Padme. Samuel Jackson. I mean, dude cut his hand off, then tossed him out a window. Why he gotta do a brother like that? He slaughtered countless innocent lives, including the younglings. Oh my god, why did you have to kill the younglings, you son of a bitch? You monster!
What are we going to do?
And the fact that Anakin continued to crusade through the galaxy, increasing his shame by turning countless more lives into dust. So he had to come to grips with all of that. Being alone with very little contact with people allowed a lot of time to brood on this. It would bring prolonged and increasing despair, deepening his descent into the dark side. most likely without him ever even realizing it. Mind twisted from isolation and grief, he had to do something. He began to form a plan unbefitting that of a Jedi of light. He had to somehow gain access to Luke Skywalker and shape him into a weapon he could turn against his former apprentice, Anakin, aka Darth Vader. He stalked Luke until an opportunity presented itself, and it did in the form of a little droid named R2-D2. Either by design or pure chance, R2-D2 ends up with Luke. And since Stalker Obi-Wan Kenobi is always watching, he knows about this. I bet he was all like, with his old stalking ass. Anyway, at long last, this was his chance. I speculate that sometime in the middle of the night, Stalker Obi-Wan Kenobi activated a recall program on R2-D2 to make him leave. Using the Force, he made sure that Luke was the only one to notice, not the aunt and uncle. After luring him out, Obi-Wan mind-controlled Sand People into attacking Luke. He shows up and mind-controlled them into running away to complete the lamest scam in the history of a galaxy far, far away. And Luke fell for it like a sucker. Having been saved by him, Obi-Wan immediately gains his trust. We know right away that he was on some bullshit because instead of taking Luke home, he instead brings him back to his place. Because he knew the Empire would already be on their way to track R2-D2. He needed to stall Luke long enough for the Empire to rid him of his last obstacle, Luke's aunt and uncle. Now he had his weapon. He needed to mold it, then point it at the target of his vengeance, Darth Vader. That's why he fed him that lie about Vader killing his father.
He betrayed and murdered your father.
He needed his Avenger on Vader's scent. Fast forward. Everything was going okay for Obi-Wan's plot until they get captured by a moon-sized starbase. How stupid are you to accidentally roll up on something as big as a moon? Probably did that shit on purpose. Fast forward. Vader versus Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan had to change his plan quick. Since he knew he would not survive this encounter with Vader, he would no longer be able to feed Luke hatred. Obi-Wan decided to wait until he appeared, and at that moment allow Vader to murder him, right in front of Luke Skywalker. I mean, this dude literally made eye contact with Luke. What kind of sadistic shit is that anyway? Why else would he have done that other than to enrage him and set Luke on the track for the dark side? Remembering his encounter with Darth Maul, he knew that Luke witnessing his death would cause him to sway to the dark side and become stronger. Remember, Darth Maul was whooping their ass until Qui-Gon died. Right after that, Obi-Wan curb stomped the brakes off of Darth Maul. And since no Jedi of Light had ever been able to defeat Vader, Obi-Wan needed Luke juiced up on the dark side so he would be strong enough to complete his plot for vengeance. Fast forward. Obi-Wan Kenobi says,
We'll go to the Dagobah system.
Fast forward. He finds Yoda. Now let's stop right here and consider something for a moment. Why would Yoda ever agree to train Luke after the monumental disaster that is Darth Vader, unless he was influenced by Obi-Wan? Yoda isn't exactly a pushover or stupid. He is a very powerful Jedi. It would take a much more powerful use of the Force in order to bend Yoda's mind. Now let's take a look at this. He said,
Strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Now think about that. More powerful than you can possibly imagine. He said this shit to motherfucking Darth Vader. Think about it. The dude who just blew up a planet, and Vader chokes motherfuckers through the TV on a daily basis. Now that takes a lot of imagination if you ask me. So by that estimation, that would make Obi-Wan a very powerful Jedi. Powerful enough to bend Yoda's mind. Also keep in mind, he was a damn ghost too. No telling what kind of mind games he was playing on Yoda while he was asleep. Ghosts don't need to sleep. And we don't know how long Obi was playing tiddlywinks with Yoda's mind. Fast forward.
I am your father.
After Luke found out that Obi-Wan was a complete liar about his dad, Obi-Wan gave him this bullshit excuse.
Father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader. When that happened, the good man who was your father was destroyed. So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
Obi-Wan can lose her, because since that Luke was feeling sorry for Darth Vader, he couldn't let this happen. So he dropped the bombshell on Luke about his sister. Fine-ass Leia. Damn! But I digress. He knew that planting this seed about his sister into Luke's mind would slip to Vader, and that Vader would say some shit that would make Luke go completely medieval on his ass.
If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will.
And go completely medieval on his ass he did. Why do you think he was so mad? Quite the mystery. Cuts his hand off too, which officially makes that a family tradition. Vader ultimately dies like a chump. Obi-Wan at that moment had gained his revenge. Only time would tell of what devastation Luke will reign now that he is all dark-sided and weaponized. Whatever it be, guess whose fault it is.